Live from Music City, Nashville, Tennessee. This is your motivational, sensational, inspirational, educational, aspirational, international, keenly awaited, daily created, highly anticipated edition of the afternoon swing trading floor with your humble host, Jeremy Alexander Newsom, with another daily dose of mentally delicious brain food, reminding each of you to love life, live life, and trade it. What's going on, folks, from around the world? Dave says hello. Hey, man. How are you? September is officially behind us as far as trading days are concerned. Tomorrow is a brand new month. October will be here. So we will look at a lot of monthly candles today, monthly candles tomorrow. I don't specifically think it's going to happen, but we can always plan as a just in case. SPY, if we gap up above here tomorrow, will be very, very strong. So if we clear this resistance, I mean, that will be a huge gap. I don't think it's going to happen. Like I said, most likely won't, but if it does, look out. We will have a very bullish October. What I do want every person to do is kind of come up with some realistic goals for the month. And if you get a chance to throw them into Slack, I'd love to know what your goals are and where you're at. My goal is 30 R's for the month of October. I know that sounds really high and really, really big, and I might not hit it. Most of the time when it comes for us to making goals for the month, whatever those goals are, you have to believe it's even achievable. And I do think this is achievable, but a lot of people are just afraid to write things down. So that's going to be my goal. I don't know if we get there or not. I'm going to try. And if I don't, it's okay. I will end profitable for the month. That'll just happen. There's no way I won't let it happen. I will work my fingers to the bone to make it happen. Every year, every month for the last 5 years. I mean, that's been the case. So anyway, RLT turns 5 November 5th, and a lot of great things coming down the pike. So I'd love to see again each and every one of you slowly progress towards greatness, enrich lives, and do the things that you want to do. I'm really pumped about it and very excited to see what we can all do together in the month of October and the preceding months that follow. SPY, we're either going to have a very bullish month or a very bearish month. I really don't know which one it is. This, whatever you want to call this pattern, doesn't really matter. But it could be a very good bullish one, or if we start breaking down, we do have plenty of room to go lower. I was looking at this pattern right here. I was doing some back trading today, and I was going to look at, let's go look at Nike. Hold on, can I do this with 2 screens? Let me try this. I think I can back trade with 2 screens. Let me go show you Nike. 2011. How do I do this? Go to, all right. And this is what I was back trading. There's a point to all this, I promise. Okay, so here's the point. I think this pattern right here in September, October, there are some similarities here. I like finding patterns. I like going back in time just to see, and I know Nike isn't the only stock on the S&P 500, but it is one of them. And that was back in 2011. And you can see just how choppy it was, and then we eventually make new highs. And then when you make new highs, you have a pretty deep little retracement into November, December, and then we bounce. That is very possible, right? So we break out of here, make a new all-time high, have another deep retracement, and then continue up again. That's very doable. So I'm just letting you all know, if we break out and start running bullish, awesome. But I will still look to lock in gains up here if we do so. Get into some collars, get a little bit of protection, expect a little bit of a dip, and then go from there. So again, that was just something I noticed as I was back trading today. I just kind of saw that was an interesting similar pattern, kind of looked kind of the same. But other than that, I mean, the weekly chart looks good, and you have a brand new monthly candle, right? Brand new monthly candle. It's finally complete. Trend looks bullish to me. Nice lower shadow. I think we could all agree that this wick should not get taken out, which is last month's low. If that candle, if that wick, if that low, if that price gets taken out on the markets, then yeah, we're going to have a little bit of a topsy-turvy end of the year. The Qs. Here's the weekly chart on the Qs, and there's a few analysts drawing Head and Shoulders like this, which I'm by no means saying is inaccurate. I'm just saying that if it does happen, that'll be a very weak Head and Shoulders, and we'll just kind of continue to go higher. This is best case scenario for the bears, I think. 165 on the Qs. If we break lower, again, anything is possible, but that would just make a lot of sense if we actually get that. Other than that, though, you have an inside day bullish candle. I think you guys will be proud of me. I didn't take one singular day trade today. Now, the good news is a lot of you killed it over there in the morning room. Straight up murdered it. So Brad and Blake and everybody were taking some really good trades. I was not there, but I didn't take any trades, but a lot of Blake's trades did really well, and Brad's trades did really well. They were posting them in Slack. They were doing a great job updating them. Again, I personally didn't take anything, but I was happy with me being patient. I did get stopped out of a swing trade today, which was McDonald's, and we'll look at that later today, and I'm absolutely okay with getting stopped out. I figured that would happen. I expected it to happen. It did happen, and that's pretty much all I can say. So other than that, I mean, we got stopped out of the McDonald's trade, but the overall trades, I didn't place anything. Like I said, Blake did well, Brad did well, a few other traders won small or lost small, but I didn't take anything because I was having some technology issues this morning. It was a small gap. I figured it would be an inside day anyway, and normally when I lose on inside day candles anyway. Now, granted, I think I would have won today, looking back at some of the trades that I normally would place, but all is good. No big deal. It's all gravy. So let's go ahead and dive into some of the stocks I want to look at, and I'll put McDonald's on this list. We'll go ahead and review the trades that we have a trade in already. And we do have a bullish position on Netflix. And I must say, I do like the close on Netflix today. The high of Friday was 267.44. We closed at 267.62. So we did close above Friday's high. We did get a gap up. It is a new white soldier. It does look a little bit bullish to me, and that's not terrible. The big question, of course, is how high will it go? And that part I do not know. I'm not entirely sure. So I love it when I start the month profitable. Usually those are my best months if I can start the very first of the month with some wins. So I will let everyone know I reserve the right to get out of Netflix as quickly as I can if I need to. Maybe I exit a small position at the 10 and try to hold to see if we get a big winner on this trade. 2 hours is not that far away, actually. 277.51 is 2 hours, which is right here. So if we can get all the way up to here, that'd be like 3.5 hours, which again, I don't necessarily think that'll happen. We will see. It's a high risk, high reward trade. And depending on how many shares you're in, this is almost an R. So I figured we could exit some there, and then we could exit some here, and then we'll see what the rest brings. So 270.94, I'm going to look to exit a fourth. And then I'm going to like to exit a fourth up here and see what the rest does. That's my current plan, but I reserve the right to change that pretty quickly because, again, October will be a little wild. And I do want to – one thing I did not do very well in September is get in and out of some swing trades quickly, even though I knew I needed to or I knew that I should have. So I did do well holding for September. That's the one thing I did nicely. So we had some big wins in September, but I also held too long. So it's really one of those blends that every now and then it happens, and there's really not much you can do about it other than just try to make some type of adjustment. So we'll see. some targets on Netflix. Throw that in there, put that in here. And I'll put that in Slack. Okay. All right. So those are some targets just to see, you know, what happens and what we end up doing. Maybe we don't hit any of them. Maybe we hit some of them. I don't know. But again, September, I'd like, just because it's a very high risk, high reward trade, you know, to get in and get out pretty quickly. Since we got so close to getting stopped out. If we did not get that close to getting stopped out at all, I mean, if it was just bullish immediately and everything was looking good as soon as we got into the trade, then I'd probably hold for more, but that's just what I plan on doing. Monthly chart on Netflix, you have 3 big bearish months in a row, and we're coming down to a really good support. We have not hit the 50 EMA, which is 234.30 on a monthly chart in a very long time. And we also have not hit the 200 simple on a weekly chart, which is 222.17 in a very long time. So the next big bearish candle day we get, I most likely will sell some $200 puts on Netflix. And I think Netflix is entering a nice buy low, sell high zone. So for the next few months to weeks, I'll be stalking Netflix really nicely down in this general zone for bullish trades, bullish day trades, call purchases, put sales, that kind of thing. Now that we have filled most of those gaps, most of these gaps right here, this one and this one. Now we filled those. All right, cool. That's Netflix. So here's another bullish swing trade. So again, we have a lot of bulls. So this is another bullish swing trade. We have a high wave inside day bearish candle that did gap up above some bullish candle closes and opens. So I actually like this trade if it breaks out higher. 144.26 is the target to get out of a quarter on FFIV. Earnings are in October, and we will be exiting before October. Well, sorry, before the earnings come due. So that's October 23rd, I believe, is the earnings on F5, and we will be getting out before then. Even if I have to exit all the position at here for, again, right at 1R, that's one thing I need to work. Well, I don't need to work on necessarily, but might try to strive for, because I definitely left about 4 or 5 Rs on the table last month easily from not doing that. I'm talking about 4 to 5 actual Rs, absolute value. I left about 8 Rs on the table. Because that's something you have to remember, folks. That's a big, big thing that you got to go through when you're looking through your trades. That is a massive, massive thing you got to consider. Right? If you lost 1 R, but you could have made 1 R, that is a 2 R swing. I know that sounds obvious, but for somebody that's new, it's a new piece of info, right? So that's a 2 R swing that you need to consider. Falco says, do you have a rule about if all your swing trades add up to a certain amount, do you take them all? That's a very good question. I don't have that precise rule, no. At least not yet. The challenge with September is I had so many, I had some bulls and some swing and some bears. I had bulls and bears. Some were profitable, some weren't, some were quick, some weren't. I should have exited a few of them. My only rule right now is if they're all profitable at the same time, then I get out. Or if I say those last infamous words out loud and I have not closed a lot of my positions. Because that's what happened on, what was that, Tuesday of last week, when I said that I'm the greatest trader in the world. I'm on fire, and the market heard me, and I went 0 for 4 immediately after saying those words. Usually, if I do say those and I'm in a bunch of positions that are profitable, I also will close it out if I feel that way. So that's another really good rule. It's one of those emotional things that if you know you're feeling just on fire and you're doing amazing, you're like, yeah, I'm the greatest trader in the world. Pack it up, get out of everything, go to cash, lock it up, and take off the next few weeks because the market's about to humble you. Yeah, so great question. But you can definitely add in a rule for your personal plan. I think that would be, if you're feeling that way, I think there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, here's another one that we are still in, Bristol Myers. And we had a suggestion that said, If BMY closes above 53.9 before end of day Monday, I'll hold to October. Close of today, 50.71. Although I do not like the upper shadow at all, here is my new plan for Bristol Myers. So my new plan is I will move stop end of day Wednesday. If I have not been stopped out or target hit by then, I'll re-evaluate target and stop. Pretty much that simple. So we've already been in this trade pretty much a month, but not quite. We got traded in the 11th of September, so it's not that long. So far, it's actually been working out great. I like the volume. I don't love today's upper shadow, obviously, but I do like the gap. I like the trend. Stop loss looks okay. So I'm gonna leave it alone until Wednesday. If we hit our 2-hour target between now and Wednesday, amazing, and we probably won't. So if we don't, I'll move up the stop a little bit, and then I probably will move the target some too. I might move the target a little bit. That's why we slowed down. I was like, what moving average do we have again here? That's the reason we're slowing down. It's the 100 on the monthly. That's right. Okay. So I could have taken off a quarter here. I can still do that tomorrow, I think. Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do. $51. All right, hold on. Looking to exit 1 quarter on Tuesday. Morning, afternoon. Then aiming for more. Okay. I forgot about the 100 SMA on the monthly for BMY. I plan to exit a quarter around here tomorrow and trail stop Wednesday night and increase target for remaining 3 quarters. Probably be in this trade most of October is my guess. So ladies and gentlemen, that is how you update a trade and document your notes. That is how it's done. BMY over here. Can I come in here? Target update. All right, so again, we'll win very small in that particular position. I just forgot about that, but hopefully it won't be too big of an issue. And if it comes crashing down, then that would suck. But I think we can adjust the trade so we don't lose too much on this one on Wednesday and start locking in some small wins for October. Angela said, do you always put your notes on the daily? Yes, ma'am, I do. All right, so this is the trade that we got stopped out on, which is fine. McDonald's, one of the strongest stocks on the entire stock market right now. You all heard me reminisce about how dumb it was to not exit that candle for 0.9 hours. Because again, I've already done the math on this one. I should have gotten out of that for 0.9. I know I should have. It's McDonald's. I know it's a counter trend trade. We were up small. It was a shaved bottom candle. What's going to happen the next day, right? Gap down, at least trade higher. And then once doing that, I would have reset the trade up again, knowing myself. And we would have gotten in at 315 limit buy with a stop at 115 limit buy. And then I would have been able to lower the stop from 115 to $1.40, maybe even $1.45, and would have lost 0.85 R, which would have put me in net composite after commissions of I mean, I would have made 30 bucks. However much that is. So it would have been a very small win other than almost a $500 loss, right? That's a big difference. That was a really big difference. And I was kind of upset that I didn't do that, but I'm sure some of you might have. I don't know every trade that you guys take, and I'm kind of upset that I didn't, but you had a lot of candles, you got a lot of reversal signals, you got a lot of volume, just did not play out. And then, of course, when we gapped up on Thursday, closed bullish, retested, you had that little doji on Friday. I mean, I could have easily put my stop here at like $1.70. Thought about it, just didn't want to get whipsawed out, and then it rolled over. So when it gapped down at open, I really should have put the stop somewhere over here. This could have also been a nice day trade. Nice day trade in here for $1 or $2 on McDonald's. Anyway, whatever. Out on Mickey D's, ladies and gentlemen. Good try. Good try. All right, next on the list is NET, Cloudflare Incorporated, aka NET. And the low of this candle is 1750. The low of this candle, 1751. Whew. Man, we got close. Well, I mean, that is a hammer. That is a gorgeous hammer. Lower shadow, upper shadow. We were already looking for a bullish trade anyway. So I'm thinking that I'm thinking it would come over here. Okay. 1879 by 1679. Again, I've won on a lot of these newer IPOs. I've also lost on some new IPOs, but I've definitely won more than I lost. That would give us a 1 to 1.5 or so before the high of the day, or before the previous high. If it really, really starts running, that is, of course. And then from there, we're just kind of figure out what we do and what happens. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So I think we can go ahead and make that one official. Also trying to see if anyone had any other requests I might be missing. Nope, I think I got all the requests for today in. If I miss anything, you guys just remind me and I will pop back over there. Okay. So NET, hammer candle, almost a new low. I won't publish that one yet, but let's go. All right. New official swing trade. All right. So today, 9/30/2019. Net. First time I've ever taken this trade. 1879 by 1679. I think it's a good trade based on a retest gap fading, open because it's not filled yet, and we'll throw that in right there. Tony says he wants to look at Visa. All right, can throw Visa on the list. So that's pretty much it. I mean, hammer candle, almost made a new low, at support, buy low, sell high. That's, yeah, sounds good. Okay, next on the list is KRUS. And KRUS, this is one that the Blakesters is watching very closely. And we were watching it very closely with this hammer candle. I think we're going to continue watching it maybe for another day or two. The volume on this one is a little bit low. I agree. It's a little bit low, 100,000 shares. But the market cap on this thing is small. We've looked at some of the numbers before. It's just simply one of those that has the ability to run if it really wants to. All right, so KRUS, earnings per quarter, 78%. Gross margin, 22%. Sales quarter to quarter, 24%. Market cap, 157 million. Pretty tiny. And if I'm coming over here to kind of what Blake was saying about it earlier, come in here in his little note. He said it's been really low volume. That's the kind of nature of the stock with a market cap of under 200 million, with only 3 million shares available to trade. That's why I only invest in names with this low of a float. So invest, he put in air quotes, meaning he has a little bit more lenient stops on those trades. Because it's a low float, so if it does really start rocking higher, only 3 million shares available to trade. I mean, if it starts crushing, some good volume comes in here, it can start moving. So we're gonna put on the list for Wednesday, come back to it and see what we got. Okay, next on the list is WDC. And WDC, I was looking at a short trade on, only and almost 100% because of this tweezer top. 62.50 and 62.50. I knew it was going to be a counter trend trade. Well, I know it's a counter trend trade. So it's going to be a little bit of a faster one. My question is, can it hold into the weekly options newsletter? Because I'd like to make this one an options trade since it's a bearish position. So I'm going to come back and just look at it, what's going to do tomorrow. This is high on my list for a weekly options newsletter set up tomorrow. So pretty much short the pullback and see if it rolls down, and that's the trade. That's it. Counter trend, pretty fast, only based off of one chart reversal pattern with some lower highs. Expecting, I mean, if I come over here to a weekly chart, kind of expecting that WDC could eventually come back and just retest this bigger neckline of 55.20. So I don't necessarily want to short it. I don't think that Western Digital is going to get bought out or anything, but I guess you theoretically never know. So I like to remove that risk by buying puts. Speaking of getting bought out, Turtle Beach, HEAR, I would be shocked and surprised if this company doesn't get acquired at some point in time. And some volume coming in on this thing. We're coming into Christmas. Kids apparently still play video games, and a lot of kids still have ears, and a lot of kids want to hear their headshots. And they, for some reason, buy these really expensive headphones. Turtle Beach, on a daily chart, volume is coming in nicely. So we're probably going to want to start watching this to bloop, 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 maybe like that. So I'm pretty much just going to draw the pattern, plan it out, and see if we get it. So I'm going to come back and look at this one on Thursday and just kind of slowly keep tabs on Turtle Beach. Next on the list is UNH. Most healthcare companies faded decently well today. So again, keeping my eyes on UNH, United Health, breaking down, and bunch of bearish candles, a little bit of a bullish candle here. Low of this candle and low of this candle are similar, but this one's a little bit, today made a little bit of a lower low. So these two red lines, if you remember, was kind of what I was looking for to see if we were going to trade back up into. Based on this hourly chart, that's very doable because this hourly chart to me looks pretty strong. So we're either going to trade right back down and channel, or if we break out of here, almost without question, we're going to pull back a little bit farther. So based on the hourly chart today, I'm still watching UNH for a potential fade. I think I'm just going to move the stop and entry a little bit higher. So 228.39, that'd be a $6 risk. That's kind of what I'm planning on UNH for right now. 208.39 is a support, which I think we'd get to, and the risk reward is there and it does check out. So we're going to come back to UNH. We'll look at it tomorrow. And if all that looks good, then we might be setting up a trade on that. Also, depending on what some of our other swing trades do. Because, again, we do have some bull and some bear, a decent blend, because I really am very neutral and I have no idea what the market's going to do. So I just want to kind of be prepared for whatever. Maxar, looking okay. So Maxar, we got a hammer today at the 100 simple moving average. A bunch of bearish candles in a row. And I'm trying to debate if I want to test one more. So we got lower low, lower low, lower low, lower low, lower low. So we've made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lower lows and lower highs in a row. It's getting close, my friends. And the lower it goes, the more I want to buy it. Again, if you did any covered call sales up here, you were rewarded from that. Those are pretty much worthless. Looks like I'll give it another day. 685. And we will come back to that tomorrow. Doesn't look bad. All right, next on the list is AVGO. And AVGO, this is one that I was looking at to possibly go bearish on. And after today's low, the low today was 270.50. Hourly chart, I like these lower shadows. So we could do 38 by 38. Broadcom. So that'd be talking about a pretty expensive $6 stop loss. That's the funny thing is, folks, I'm about to have a lot of risk for October. So October, man, we can really go either direction. If we have some type of big drop or big break, there's a lot of candles that look really pretty. AVGO, I think, is one of them. Let me just make sure I could have, how much shares is this? Okay, 272. Yeah, it's doable. Okay. I'll publish this one just for fun. AVGO bearish swing. I like the candles and the setup and the gap. Not in yet. Okay. AVGO. All right. Wait, I just changed it. How did that not update? I definitely changed that. Oh, I changed it there, not there. I got it. AVGO. Thank you, Josh. Perfect. Okay. So looking for that to break down. Again, just because I'm setting up a trade doesn't mean it's going to work. But we will have some bearish and we will have some bullish going to October, because that needs to be the way. I mean, looking at the chart, that just has to be the way it would play it. 38 by 278, 38. Okay, I would do shares on this one. I think it's a great trade, actually, based on a perfect gap and go. It's a really nice gap and go the other day. And we've held strong. So if we start breaking lower, sorry, retest gap. Still a great trade, though. Retest gap. Okay. There we go. AVGO. Got it. Post that in here. New official swing trade. All right. And again, a lot of these are going to get carried over into October. So that's the thing. Some bull, some bear, which eventually you would assume cancel each other out. It just comes down, at this point, it just comes down to pure buying power issues. All right, Interactive Brokers, IBKR, looking good. So IBKR, this is one I was talking about on Friday. I mentioned if you want it, you could buy it at 52.53, which is just the retest or the resistance of all these little candles in here, or the stop loss at 49.20. Also mentioned IBKR for the last few days and weeks to say, hey, if you want to be in longer term and own some shares, you can. Especially if you use the company and like the company, and most of us here probably have an IB account. And that would be it. Long-term moving averages on the daily, again, look good. We're above those. On the weekly, got a long way to go. So IBKR, not official trade, but if you're in, cool. And if you're not in, cool. Looks good. The trend, at least for day trades, could be doable because it looks nice. Okay, Momo was one that I wanted to short for a swing trade. Talked about that on Friday, and we're going to have to ex-nay this bearish setup trade because this is the exact retest that I wanted / was looking for. On Friday, we did gap up today. We did throw in an upper shadow and missed that setup by 36 cents. So just going to cancel that one and pretty much move on. Any questions so far? Okay. So Momo, just going to go, all right, cool, L1 analysis. If it keeps dropping, great. I'll just miss it. RLGY, Realogy Holdings Corporation, and it did pull back to 650. That is nice. Realogy Holdings. So I looked at this on Friday for a particular trader. That looks really good. So if you're in with that setup, beautiful. I'm gonna give this one 1 or 2 more days because again, I got a few other setups that I want to put in. And I'm just gonna run out of buying power way before I can be in everything I want to be in. This trade does look very nice. I'm gonna watch this on my list for tomorrow morning day trade. Tuesday morning, RLGY. If you're wondering why, because this is a bullish signal, and if we gap up above the high, there's gonna be a lot of bears trapped, and that thing's gonna run like the wind. I'm not saying it's going to, I'm just saying just in case. I have a unique ability to plan day trades hours and hours in advance. So yeah, if it opened above 701, zoom, let's get ready to rumble. And if it doesn't, give it 2 or 3 more days and trade sideways, we might be able to take another trade. And that should be pretty much it. Robin says, is it too late to get in this one? No, I mean, like I said, if it gaps up tomorrow for a day trade, I'll be watching it very closely. For a swing trade, I don't think so. I don't think it's over. No, I don't think it's too late. We'll be able to come back and snag it, but I'll watch that for a day trade tomorrow. Okay, Tesla. I will be able to show you all the trade I would have taken on Tesla today. I was watching it all morning. I was feeling it. This morning I was talking about Tesla going long. I was watching it to go long. And in the very first 5 minutes, it threw in a beautiful trap. Beautiful bull trap. Check this out. I mean, that is gorgeous. Look at that. Just broke above all that pre-market resistance. Broke above that candle. Broke above this candle. I was looking at it to go bullish on a trade early morning. And it didn't take any trades. If I did take that bullish, I would have lost, and then I would have had to flip and get that R back, which I would have done. So I was watching Tesla most of the day. And then usually about 30 minutes into market, I turn the extended hours off. And this is the pattern that looked quite bearish to me. So this is what I was looking at intraday. I saw this little trend line. I drew this little trend line in blue, And I saw this little higher low come in right there, and I was like, okay, guys, this is a very nice consolidation. Beautiful buying candle, obvious pressure building. And if we break below that level, it's going to be bearish. Dave says, what do you mean when you say flip? Well, Dave, a great question. So earlier this morning, I was looking at a bullish trade. So I was mentioning if I had gotten triggered into the trade bullish, I would have lost the trade and I would have had to flip. So flipping on a trade means from going bullish to doing what, Dave? Going bullish to flipping and being bearish. Yep, you're exactly correct. Doing the opposite. So if I would have taken this trade bullish, I definitely would have gotten stopped out and I would have lost a full R on the trade. It would have sucked. But then in my heart of hearts, I know I'll set this trade up right here. I really like this candle. I really like this candle because that tells me that it should not break down. And then I really, really like this candle because that shows me that there's some resistance there. And then boom, trade triggers. So even if you're not on that one, you set up the pullback. There's the retest. I definitely would have gotten fit on the retest for sure. And then evening star reversal, highway, retest, boom. Right, so if I would have lost an R bullish, which I don't think I would have. But I'm saying if I did, let's say I did trade this morning, I did take that trade, I did lose, I would have had to flip, which means I would have gotten out right here. I would have exited the trade there. That would be it for me. And obviously I think we know that Tesla keeps going lower, but that would have been, let's see, that would have been one and some change, 1.7, 1.8. Yep, pretty average for me, right around 1.8, 1.9. So I would have lost an R if I had gone bullish, which I might have, but I don't think I would have gotten triggered in. I really don't. Me and Tony were both looking at a bullish trade above the high of this candle, which just never happened. So I don't think I would have gotten triggered into that one bullish. So that would have been nice. That would have been a nice one and done 2R trade on Tesla this morning. Anyway, that's how I would have set it up. Didn't trade today. No worries. All is good. So then you have a little bit of a lower shadow, nice little candle, and I'm going to look for Tesla again bullish tomorrow. So if we gap up tomorrow, I'll be watching it. Same exact thing. Pretty much I'll watch for a trade lower and then a bounce higher. So I love the lower shadow. I like the buying pressure, watching Tesla bullish. Okay, next on the list is Amazon. Didn't do anything on Amazon today at all. The good news is we knew not to go bearish. So even though I did not play it bullish, and I didn't make any money on Amazon today, I knew not to be bearish on it. So far, Mr. Squiggles is actually almost spot on with Amazon. I drew this Friday and mentioned let it trade up, trade down, which this is the downswing right here. Trade higher, rotate, kind of double top maybe, and then roll down. So this thing had good bullish momentum most of the day ever since this candle. So I had a trader ask me early in the morning, is this the time to short Amazon? And I said no. And the reason I said no is because Amazon has been doing a lot of false breakouts, right? Every time it makes new lows, I shouldn't say every time, but most of the time it's been making new lows on a breakout. At least the last week, it is reversed on that breakout. I can point to like 15 examples. So I did not take that trade. Could have gone bullish, didn't. No big deal. So Amazon retesting a little bit. And I would assume that Amazon's going to be a short the pullback opportunity when it starts running into the 200. So at 1777. If Tesla gaps down tomorrow, today's candle has the exact same sentiment as this one. So if Tesla gaps down tomorrow, you're probably going to want to back trade one of those 2 days, most specifically Thursday. And on Thursday, that would be the day to back trade tomorrow if Amazon gaps down. Angela said, did anyone make the September challenge? That's a good question. I Don't know if anyone made it on Amazon. I didn't. I forgot to mention that. But the other challenges, yes. 13.1 miles. I think over 100 people completed that, which was literally mind-boggling. I'm so happy that everyone did that. And a lot of people did investigate a rental property for the month of September as well. As far as getting 3 hours on Amazon, I didn't. I failed that part of the challenge. That was a failure for me. If anyone else did, if anyone else listened to this, let me know. I'll be happy to celebrate you. But yeah. If you got, type in a 1 if you guys already want to know the trading challenge for October. If you want a sneak peek, comes out tomorrow. But if you want to know it early, all right, here it goes. Robin, Tracy, you're gonna love me for this one. Post a video of you reviewing one of your trades on a social media platform. I got that one from both Robin and Tracy. They did so good doing it in October. I was like, man, we need to do it, or doing it last month. We need to do that again. That's really the trading challenge, is posting a video of you reviewing one of your trades on a social media platform. It could be Slack, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whatever you prefer. Greg Gilbert does this every single day in his trading. It's kind of crazy. Every single day he posts on his own social media page, which is social media suicide to do it every single day, you know, but I mean, I don't even do that. Robin says, who does that? Greg Gilbert. If you guys want to follow him on Instagram, or sorry, Facebook, great follow on Facebook. I watch every one of his videos. So Greg Gilbert, he's in Slack. He posts a video every day of his updates. Again, here's him right here, Greg Gilbert. Feel free to send me a message. Anyway, he's the one that inspired me, along with Zoji, to do that. So that'll be the trading challenge for the month of October. Okay. Cool. All right, next on the list is EXAS. I had this requested, and EXAS, ladies and gentlemen, is headed a little bit lower. It's about to retest at some point, but it's gonna creep on down. EXAS took out this massive volume spike on that day, closed below the hammer of this day, and closed below the hammer of this day. I didn't trade Exact Sciences, but I would be all in bearish on September 24th once it closed below all those levels. So from here, if you're looking at buying more on a bigger pullback, the good news is you're getting it. I think your next buy location would probably be about 78 or so. So if you're looking at buying some more Exact Sciences, it's probably going to be around 78, which would be very close to the 100 simple. Keep in mind, this is a double top, and we're probably going to retrace a little bit higher, and then pull back some more, and then, you know, most likely go higher. That seems totally reasonable to me. But right now, expect a little bit of a pullback, and that's pretty much about it. Robin says she got in at 49 bucks on her first round. Nice. Nice. So again, gorgeous chart. Trend looks amazing. Love the company long term, and fundamentally quite sound. But we're just having a pullback. That's all. Stocks pull back sometimes. So a bunch of bearish candles in a row, short the rip, and look to buy it around 78-ish if you want to buy more. AMD. So AMD could be a very fun one. We have a weekly options newsletter on AMD, on Intel. Bullish. And I think this might be a hedge for that trade for another weekly options newsletter next week if AMD drops again. I don't expect it to, but I back trade AMD a lot today. This is almost a tweezer bottom, and boy, oh boy, if that thing breaks down, it's going to have a gorgeous flush to 27. Got the October 2450 put sale on AMD. Right now it's out of support. I do expect it to bounce a little bit, but if it does not, you're going to have a very nice, fun flash flush into 27. So speaking of Intel, INTC. So this is the weekly options newsletter trade, and If I had two traders reach out to me to ask if they should leave it open, I would say yes. I think it'd be as simple this time as just updating it. So instead of having a stop limit, just go in and update Intel for a limit buy. I think you can adjust it, because if you didn't fill today, then you're going to want to do a limit buy of, I would just say $2 with a stop at $1. Simple as that. Because if it retests, I mean, it should retest relatively nicely, so we'll find out. But nice little breakouts, good little entry, good little pop on INTC, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, if Intel can retrace, gorgeous. That would be pretty much how I would set it up if you are not in or didn't get filled or didn't set up the trade at all. You could just do a limit buy at $2 with a stop at $1. For October $50 calls, Wells Fargo, more like Hells Fargo. So Wells Fargo, I was day trading this with paper money, meaning I didn't even do anything with it. I was just watching it. And it would have been a very, very, very small loss, but I would have lost on this trade. So I was looking at shorting it around here, had a stop way up here, and I would have gotten stopped out for half an hour loss if I took this trade. Didn't, was watching it. It would have run up, stopped me out, and then ran right back down to my entry. So Wells Fargo, did not take it, did not trade it, didn't do anything with it. I have no idea what Wells Fargo is going to do, guys. I would assume that this gap should fill, but it might not. Moving averages look good. Trend looks good on the daily, weekly chart. We got a double bottom. Long-term moving averages. I mean, I think it has room up into 5202. I don't have any positions on Wells Fargo. I don't trade banks at all. But that's pretty much what I'm thinking. That's really it. I mean, buy the dip, bullish in the 52, or stay bullish if you're bullish on Wells Fargo. All right, we got a few left. We're making good time. Overstock, OSTK. And Overstock, let's see. Okay, I think we're getting all. Overstock is just getting mammered. It's hard to short. It's trading down to massive support levels. I have no idea what Overstock's going to do. So ladies and gentlemen, this chart, this company, the stock, the analysis is bamboozling me. Don't have any position in Overstock at all. It is trading down into a support level, but you are bottom fishing with the most grossest of baked if you're trying to play Overstock.com down here. So I would just pass on that one if I were you. Square. Oh, man. Folks, Square's looking good right now. I love this close above yesterday's high wave candle. I mean, crazy that Square would retest on Friday. Right, Robin? I don't think anyone could have analyzed, predicted, or thought that this retest gap would have retested the next day. Just mind-boggling. So anyway, Square retested beautifully and then had a nice gap up today and closed above the high of yesterday. So Thomas says, sorry, not Thomas, Steven says, where would you buy calls? I would buy calls on a retracement. They would be probably $60 calls for October. And I would buy them at approximately 61.28 as far as the actual stock price is concerned. Also, a potential weekly options newsletter trade for tomorrow. $60 calls right now trading for $3.30. And I think you'd be able to buy them at about let's see. Yeah, about $3. The $60. October call. Right now trades about 330. Bid is 330. Ask is 340. I think you can buy them for $3 even with a stop at $2 even on Square. She looks nice, folks. I think it can make its way up to the 50. I've been saying, and I can almost guarantee with all my might that this gap right here will fill on Square. I don't know when, but if you're in shares, just keep holding them or keep buying more. I still got a $60 put sale for December. It is what people refer to as underwater right now, but I don't care. I don't mind owning shares of Square, so I'm just going to wait it out. And that's pretty much it. I mean, myself and Ashley have some shares of Square. We bought a little bit more recently. I like it. I mean, I like the company long term. Right now, I don't know how big this retest is going to be, but I can almost guarantee you it's going to be at least 63.42, which is the 100 simple on a weekly chart. Once it hits that, I don't know. I'm not sure. We probably just boing, 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 kind of chop around for a little bit and then again eventually go higher. Maybe on earnings. Because remember, earnings were quite good. And here's the monthly chart. Nice hammer. So you got some people shorting for sure below this double top. Everyone thinking that Square is going to go zero. And I mean, this has been a parable. Guys, Square's been around since 2016, right? So give it a break. It's going to take a little bit of time to do some stuff. It's going to take a little bit. Hasn't even been around 50 weeks yet. Sorry, 50 months. 50 months is what I meant to say. All right. Lam Research had the gap of the day on Friday and then has retested today. So this thing is about to drop, I think. I got to give it one more day, but I'm going to watch Lam Research very closely to continue. If not for a day trade, for a swing trade. There is, in my opinion, zero chance we do not go lower after this gap down. That gap is so bearish, it's insane. All-time high, white candle, and then just boom, everyone's trapped. So Lam Research, if you're in bullish, buy some protection or just watch yourself. Because we start breaking down Lam Research. I mean, November puts, they are a little bit pricey. But again, this is an all-time high. That's the other thing. All-time high was that gap down. So you know people are trapped up here. Or at least I think. I think they're trapped. So all-time high on Lam Research could at least pull back to 223. Minimum. You know, so if you wanted an interesting play on Lam Research, you could almost go out of the money November 220 puts. And those are $7.70 over earnings. So 220 November put, and you could buy a 190. Sorry. Buy the 220 for $7.70, sell the 190 for $1.90. And that would more or less give you $30 of potential reward for a $5 risk. So 1 to 6 risk reward ratio is not bad on Lam Research. Steven says, how about buying puts on MU? It's like LRCX. It is. MU on the list for tomorrow. Salesforce, ticker symbol CRM. This is probably my favorite candle of the day. And I am going to watch this. And by watch it, I mean set that up officially. Every now and then you need one nice little aggressive trade. I think probably puts would be best on this one. I want to bracket trade that candle so bad. Earnings are in October, and yeah, it's not going to be that expensive. So 150 put for October, which expires in 3 weeks. We look to buy that at 5 with a stop at 4. pretty much it. $5 stop limit. It'll be 5 and 5. October 150 puts. And again, this is going to go down as a high risk, high reward trade. I'm bracket trading a very small candle. But man, if this thing does drop, let me make sure it has everything it needs. October, regular October, 150 puts. Okay, and that's pretty much it. Let me copy that. Put this in here. Again, pretty high risk, high reward. I realize that. That's how I'm going to mark it. But I saw that pattern and loved it immediately. So Salesforce 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Based on a retest gap, open because not triggered yet. And we'll throw that right there, and I'll put that right here. New official swing trade. Boom, easy. Okay. So Salesforce, got it. AVGO, got it. We got a few more. I can take that off the list. All right, looked at that one. And these are the ones that were added just a few minutes ago, really. DDOG, Datadog, one white soldier candle, gapping up tomorrow, it seems already. I can't day trade it yet. Sorry, swing trade it. I can't swing trade it yet, but I can put on the list for tomorrow and go maybe if we pull back. If we gap up above that one white soldier's high tomorrow, however, yes and yes. So DDOG on the list for tomorrow morning. Got it and got it. Visa, ticker symbol V, strongest stock on the planet. So again, just be very cautious shorting this one, although also potential weekly options newsletter. And I might even do 2 or 3 weekly options newsletters out there. This will retest and most likely will happen tomorrow. So got a shave bottom candle, watch Visa to retest, but this volume, this candle pattern, it's showing some weakness. And I might even consider buying November puts for some swing trades, maybe do absolute zero just in case, but the volume profile on Visa shows weakness, but it will retest because it's an incredibly strong stock. Think McDonald's. Okay, Ping, P-I-N-G, IT, service and technology consulting company. Looks kind of like the other ones that we're looking at. New low, people are trapped, I'm sure. Tons of bearish candles in a row. And I have no idea what this thing does, but I'm assuming it's probably doing something pretty nice. So bang, bang, bang. I'll put it on the list for tomorrow. And PING. Let's watch it. And then last but not least, JP Morgan, ticker symbol JP Morgan, gapped up, retested today, still showing a little bit of weakness. But if it does not take out and make a new low this week, and if you are in some puts, you probably are going to have to bail because earnings is around the corner. If you want to hold over earnings, totally your call, right? JP Morgan could easily gap down on earnings, but it could also gap up and run to the moon. But if you bought puts, at least you know the maximum amount of loss that you can sustain on a gap up over earnings. So it depends on when your expiration is. Earnings season is going to be here in October, ladies and gentlemen. It's here. It's in front of us. It's coming up around the corner. I'm pumped for whatever happens in October. But I do not think we're going to have a slow month. It's going to be nice and bullish or nice and bearish, so be prepared. And let's start by looking at some tech stocks tomorrow. What do you guys want to look at tomorrow? I got a nice list already. Tomorrow, I got Western Digital, DDOG, Micron with Stephen Wong, Palo Alto, Seattle Genetics, Adobe, Google, Apple, Netflix, Facebook, Tesla, Amazon, Discover Financial, UNH, Maxar, RLGY, Ping, Intel, AMD, COUP, PVAC, Roku, Square. Got it. Anything else? You guys good? Steven says, would you look at any potential strangles considering earnings season? I will. Yep. As we approach it, I do that all the time. And if you ever have a particular stock that you want, just ask me and I'll be more than happy to review the strangle or straddle for you. Strangle, though, is always my preferred. I'm not a big fan of straddles, but every now and then I'll get into one. All right, boys and girls, I'm out. Thanks so much for being here. You guys rock. Roger. And until next time, love life, live life, and trade it. I'll see you guys tomorrow.